I write to you from 2050. A message from a version of you who is 30 years wiser. A version of you who has made 30 more years of mistakes and lived 30 more years of grief. I live in the year they said we would reach net zero by. The year they said we would have planted billions of trees. Our streets are supposed to be lined with electric charging points and our parking spaces transformed into community gardens. And yet, when I rise in the morning and I open the news, the front page shows a young woman, not much older than you are now, but her eyes speak of suffering you have never had to endure. She carries a baby, wrapped in cloth against her chest, and up to her waist she is engulfed in murky, brown water. Behind her stand the slanted skeletons of wooden houses on stilts. Fake news is reported more often than not in 2050, but the lines etched in this woman's face and the fear written in her eyes are the furthest thing from fake. It is easy to become desensitized to this kind of imagery. Waking up to natural disaster somewhere in the world is the norm now. And those who suffer the most today are the ones who knew what crisis looked like in 2020. The ones who saw the seasons change, saw their crops die, saw the rainforest canopy collapse above them and their land be swallowed by the sea, only to be shut out of conversation and patronised by the media. I know I am one of the lucky ones, and I know that the worst of it is yet to reach me, though it's hard to imagine how much worse things can get here. I suppose you thought that in 2020 as well. I start most days by stepping onto my bike. I join into the mass of city workers who pedal past my house on sweeping cycle lanes. Sun glints down on us from solar panels lined on the tilted London roofs above. In the early morning, families can be seen in local parks harvesting their ration of food from community allotments. By midday, the heat becomes too much and everyone retreats back inside. You know the phrase, as sure as the seasons come and go? Yeah, that doesn't work anymore. Predicting when a heat wave or storm or flood will hit is near impossible. We are in what people have taken to calling the healing, a period of repair, of restoration, of rebuilding. Land across the world has been returned to Indigenous peoples. More girls are going to school than at any point in history. Unlikely alliances have formed between farmers, schools, developers, corporations. Things have changed. But we remain closer to a tipping point that feels comfortable, a precarious balance of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It wasn't like in the films. There was never a point where you breathed a sigh of relief and decided that good had defeated evil. Too many natural wonders were lost due to our actions. Too many species whose fates have been restricted to the history books. Too many lives lost because of the greed and unbridled power of a few. It's hard to feel that we've won, as politicians like to claim. A ticking time bomb remains, and there's lots of work to do.